Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be continuing my trip around the world. We are trying to read a book and eat a food from every country. And today we're going to be going to the Netherlands. So hi, my name is Talia. I love books. I love bandanas. I'm so glad you're at my channel today. You may be wondering, wait a second, Talia, I thought you were going to do this randomly and I didn't see a draw for the Netherlands. You're right. You are right. The Netherlands were actually picked for me as part of the Women's World Cup read-along, which I found out about through Alice and the Giant Bookshelf a couple months ago. So that readathon was really fun. Basically, everyone who participated was assigned a country, and you had to read a book from the country that you were assigned. So I was assigned the Netherlands. And then if your team lost to any other teams, you had to read from that team as well. So I actually got really lucky. The Netherlands only got lost once when they were eliminated, and it was to Spain. And then Spain won the whole entire thing, so I didn't have to read anything else. I haven't read for Spain yet, so spoiler alert, the next challenge is going to be Spain. So the next Read Around the World video will be Spain. But I have completed my Netherlands read, and I did some baking last night. So we are going to talk about that today. So first, I want to say I actually started 2 books from the Netherlands and I loved them both. So I'm not going to be doing a full review today on the first one because I did DNF it, but that doesn't mean I didn't love it. So I started reading Why the Dutch Are Different by Ben Coates. And this is about a guy named Ben who originally lived in London, and he it's kind of random how he ends up living in the Netherlands. He like goes on this trip, I think down to Cuba. He's like taking time off the London life and just like spending time in the sun. And when he's on this boat, he meets this girl who he like kind of has a connection with, ends up getting her phone number. And then nothing really becomes of it. Like time goes by. And he ends up getting like at some point, like later in time, like 6 months later, he's like flying through the Netherlands and he gets a flight delay there. So he's like, I think I'll just text this girl because I remember that she was from the Netherlands. And he ends up like going to her house and he just like never leaves. He just stays in the Netherlands. So his book is done so well because it's like kind of from a tourist perspective of him like living in the Netherlands and traveling around and visiting all the history and all the culture of the country from an outsider, but also like from an insider perspective because he's been living there a couple of years when he writes it. So I thought it was really interesting. I put it on hold at the same time as the book that I'm actually going to be reviewing today. And it came in first, so I started reading it. Then when this one came in, I was like, oh, I'm going to read a couple chapters of this and see how I like it. And I really got sucked into The Secret Diary of Hendrik Groen. 83 and 1/4 years old. I really got sucked in. So I was like, okay, you have to make a decision, Talia, because at the rate you're currently going, you're going to read around the world by the time you're 500 years old. So you cannot do 2 books for each country. So I put down Why the Dutch Are Different for now. I think I will at some point probably pick it up again because I just felt like I was learning so much about the Netherlands and how that country formed. And it's so interesting because like a majority of it is below sea level, and they actually like built up the land like above sea level in like a large portion of it. It was just really interesting. But anyways, so I will link that below. Definitely recommend if you're looking for like a more nonfiction approach to the Netherlands. This is a little bit more fun of a read, I will say. So Hendrik Groen is writing as himself in this book. He is not as old as he portrays himself in this book, though. I think he's like mid-60s, maybe late 50s when he writes this. And he is portraying himself as a man living in a retirement community in the Netherlands. So I loved this book so much. So basically he decides that he's going to start keeping a journal entry of every day in his retirement community and like everything that happens. So I loved it because it was fiction, like the characters and a lot of the things didn't actually happen, but I feel like I did get an accurate portrayal of the elderly in the Netherlands and some of the issues, political and social issues that they face, learned tidbits about the food, about the culture, about the entertainment. It was really an interesting read, and it was pretty funny too. Like, he is a character. And I think there's a sequel too, so lots of raw sarcasm. You know how I love like just the raw sarcasm and the humor, and like he tackled just a lot of different topics, from physician assisted suicide to how we treat the elderly in our cultures and communities, and I just learned so much from it. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend. If you want to learn about the Netherlands, or if you want to learn about retirement communities, or if you just want to read like a sweet story that will make you feel deeply and make you chuckle at the same time, this is definitely one for you. Okay, so I mentioned that I did do some cooking. So I made a Dutch butter cake, and found the recipe on Pinterest. I can't remember the Dutch name of it right now, but I will put it below when I'm editing. So I made it last night, pretty late. The filming did not go great. And I haven't watched the footage yet, but I was just tired and I didn't really feel like narrating, so I was kind of just filming the process. And I kept having the camera on when it was supposed to be off, and off when it was supposed to be on. So we will see what kind of footage we can put in here. But basically, it's a super easy cake that's standard for like, I want to call it like, for me it feels like it would be something that's had at like tea, because it's kind of a cross between like a cookie and a cake. So 5 ingredients. I actually use 6 because you're supposed to have salted butter, and my butter was unsalted, so I added a little bit of salt to it. So basically you put butter in your mixer, whip it up nice and good, like 3 to 5 minutes, whip it up, add in 1 cup of sugar, and then after 1 cup of sugar, whipped it up, beat it up really good again. Then I added 1 teaspoon of almond extract and 1 egg, and again, whip it up, beat it up again. And then I added 2 cups of flour and just mixed that until it was incorporated super well. And that's all the ingredients that were in this cake. Super easy. I will link the recipe below that I found. And from there, it's kind of like this like kind of cookie dough consistency, like not like a smooth thin cake batter, more like cookie dough. And then you just squish it in your pan. So I sprayed my 9-inch pan a little bit, I squished it down, and then it said to like make a design on top. So I just kind of like didn't know what I was doing at first, but ended up just kind of doing some like circle-y fork marks. I'll try to put a picture here for you. And then I baked it for 20 minutes. I was supposed to brush like an egg white on top before I baked, or an egg yolk. I don't remember. I was supposed to brush something on top before I baked it, but I forgot to do that, and I don't feel like it really affected it. I think it would have turned out like a little more shiny and pretty maybe when it was done, but I don't think it affected the taste at all. So I baked it for 20 minutes. I popped it out and let it cool a while, and you guys, it turned out so good. I was only gonna take a bite. I've been trying to eat like super healthy lately. I had some sketchy blood work a few months ago, so I'm trying to take better care of myself than I was, which comes with getting older, yay me. But anyways, I ate the whole slice because it was amazing. Just like I don't know, just the only way I can describe it is like a perfect cross between a cookie and a cake. Just like moist and like soothing and delicious. And like I thought the almond might be overpowering because I don't typically like almond flavoring. Like when sugar cookies have almond flavoring, like around Christmas time, I usually skip those because I don't typically like them. But the cake turned out amazing. So I was super happy. Gave some to the kids after lunch today. They all loved it. I definitely will be baking again in the future. I feel like I'm gonna try to find an excuse to bring it to book club at some point, because it was definitely like just a good, fun dessert. So the Dutch have definitely done it right. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that today. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two. And if you're having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana. Bye.